Got a Twosun, and it's in the old brown box. And you know what? It actually belongs in this old box because it is an old Twosun. Wait till you see this thing. Look at what I came across, man. Wow, what a unicorn. I mean, I've never seen this, is the only one I've ever seen. This is the Twosun ts31 in titanium. It's D2 steel, but it's got the milled titanium show scale that's anodized. It's got like the starburst pattern on it, and then stonewashed titanium on the non-show side. Stonewashed pocket clip, and then satin finish on that blade. Yeah, what a unicorn, man! Golly, I'd never seen one before, and then boom, lo and behold, there it was. And even kind of crazier, the the G10 version came my way just prior to this one, and I picked up the G10 version, and then bang, here was the titanium version coming my way. Yeah. So come on, man, let's check this thing in. I'm gonna get this box out of the way, and I actually am gonna bring a little news about Twosun to this video, but not yet. Yeah, blade centered. I mean, the knife was repped as new, never carried. Basically, just a collector piece. And I would verify that. I don't know who owned it or how many different owners it's had through the years, but this knife's never been carried, not in a pocket. Yep, very cool. Um, it's new enough that I just want to get a look in here. Let's get a peek at it. Come on. Yeah, what a wonderfully interesting knife. Ooh, is that tight? There we go. Definitely had some Loctite on there. I say had, but let's go with has. I think part of my struggle is that that's in there backwards from the way that I would want it to be. But since that was like that, let's go ahead and grab these here. It's all T8s. Yeah, that come out this side as well. All right, I think we can come apart. Yep. Kind of dry, definitely dirty in here. Got some old oil up in here. So far, I don't see anything that'll keep me from flipping this around. Let's see if I can. I'm going to have to. Yep. Yeah, so it's not captured, so we'll just come in from the other side on that. I'm going to leave the pocket clip be, but let's go ahead and clean it up. The action was very smooth, so I'm not going to mess with the action either. I'm just going to clean it up. I mean, when I say it's dirty, it looks like it's still got remnants of old grease on it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get her cleaned up. So I was tempted not to break into this because I have decided I'm going to liquidate my Twosun collection. I know I've talked about it a bunch, but I am officially doing it. And I have reached out to a few people so far that I do business with. that I have relationships with and expressed that I am going to do that. And so I already have started to move some of the collection. Initially, my thought was that I was just going to move it all at one time. And I don't know, I think I came to my senses because, to move that size of a collection, it's going to take a large dealer. Unless I could find a collector with deep pockets that just said, hey, you know what? I want to just buy into a whole collection, which could happen. And that's kind of what my thought was, but not very likely. So I've made the decision. Now, if a collector wants to step in and make me an offer on it all, that's great. Let's do it. But even when I'm looking at collections, I'm trying to buy it for as little money as I can, which makes sense. I mean, why would you want to pay too much for it, right? So I'm going to be way better on the open market piece by piece financially. And I'm not trying to get rich off of it, but I would like to recoup my money. And I've mentioned before, the money's just going to go to support the channel and its growth and what I'm doing here on this bench, because I dig it. I really like doing it. I want to keep doing it. And I've got some ideas for some other content as well, that's not necessarily 100% knife related, some other stuff. And I'm kind of excited to do it. I'm figuring out the cameras and, how to upload. Man, I'm still learning. It's crazy how much I learn day to day and week to week, whatever. Yeah, so with that, this piece is already spoken for. Yep. Already has a new home, and it's going to be headed there soon, which is why I'm doing this video. Wanted to get this one knocked out. It's just too unique of a piece for me to not get it on film and talk about it. The truth is, the collector that it's going to, you may never see the knife again. I mean, it's pretty rare for collectors to have like YouTube channels or, be throwing their stuff around on Facebook or whatever. And so I know they didn't make just one of these, but, man, I've been collecting these Twosuns for quite a while. And this is the only one of these I've ever seen. And so, yeah, who knows? You may never see one again. And it's so unique, this titanium scale. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I mean, when I got the G10 version, I did see that there was a titanium version, but I had no idea it was this awesome. I mean, it's wonderful. The milling and what went into this. Yeah, very sweet. I mean, it's definitely one of those that I'm not so excited about seeing it go away. There we go. Make sure these are the same size. Yeah. Yeah, I could have kept this one in my personal collection for sure. For sure, I could have kept this one. And so one of the questions is will I keep some of these Twosuns? Probably. Right at the turn of the year, I've been wanting to get, like my top 20 Twosuns done and that kind of thing. Am I going to keep 20 of them? I don't know that I'm going to keep 20 of them. But is there 5? Well, for sure there's 5 Twosuns that I'll keep. Is there 10? Maybe 10, maybe 20. I've got my favorites, and so I'll keep some of them. This one could have definitely made the list, but when I announced the decision to sell or the potential to sell, I mean, a friend, a comrade, stepped up and said, "Hey, I'd like to buy a few of those, and this is one of them." And so it's like, like I say, I might have kept this one, but it wasn't a one knife deal. So they asked to include it, and so I said yes. What a cool piece. The other thing is I know how excited I was to get this knife, and I know that that person's going to be just as excited. Yeah. And so that's a cool thing. Yeah. Perfectly centered. Oh, this thing's wonderful. Drop shut. Make sure we're tight. Yeah. So the detent is way late on this knife, which isn't odd. It's not so far out of the realm of possibilities on an older knife, not just older Twosuns, but older knives, period. I don't know that it was a huge priority, a while back, but you contact the detent closing the knife there, but you're not actually past it until there. It's almost at a 90, right? And if you don't get it past that, like if I go short of that, it can spring backwards. So yeah, it's got a late detent closing it. Not the end of the world. No jimping on the flipper tab, but let's talk about this action. Let's go ahead and really check this thing in. So, I mean, once you get past that detent ball, it's wonderful. I wonder if I can fail this knife. Yeah, I can fail it, but it is super slick. Yeah, very nice. Very snappy coming out of there. Drop shut. Access to the lock bar. So this is lowered. The lock bar's easily accessed there. It's not chamfered at all, but easy access to the lock bar. Just gotta get it past that detent. Yep. Very nice. I'm gonna say A minus. B plus, A minus, in that range, and mostly because of how far you got to go to close this knife. It's kind of a nitpick. Um, could I just as easily say, it's A minus action? Yeah, I could. It's not that big a deal. You just got to get it deep down in there. Ergonomics. Yeah, so it's wonderful in hand. It's got this great jimping along the spine, back here in the palm, up here for the thumb. It's on the scales, really nice chopped in, not so confident grip, confident, very confident, and this knife just goes whoop right up to the very confident edge. Reverse grip, can cap it with the thumb, very comfortable in hand. Fingers are locked down as well there. And then I could get here. If I was knowing that I had to hammer with this knife, I could get here. Very confident grip there. Yeah. Let's run the pocket clip. Yeah, thick stuff. Whoop. It's not a very deep carry. I mean, there's about an inch of that knife sticking out of that pocket, but it's got great tension. The screws lend platform for the thumb to grab on or the finger to grab it. It's going to hold nice as well in standard jean size material. Yeah, it's got a nice little click coming out of there. My spot in the back pocket. I do like the two-tone. It's got like the gray and then the black stonewash. It begs the question, is that titanium? I'm sure it is. Yeah, it's all titanium except the hardware and the blade. Yep. Even the pocket clip's titanium, stamped titanium. Steel insert, frame lock. Yeah, what a cool piece, man. Very cool. Wonder if it's got any of the Twosun safety issues. Yeah, no contacting the blade through the scales in the back, and the tip is recessed. So the clip's good, tip's good, and I can handle this thing any way I want and not contact the sharp part. Um, we're going to check that blade, but I did want to mention, look at the grind on this blade. It's definitely the factory edge on there, but the beautiful tool steel finish that they put on this blade. It's gorgeous. Yeah, reminds me of an old ratchet, old school tool steel. All right, how sharp's that D2? I mean, it's super sharp, super sticky, and I think it could use a light strop, but I am going to leave that to the new owner. Yep. ts31, very cool piece. I mean, what a unicorn, man. Appreciate y'all watching, checking it out with me. And I'm going to wave bye to it. Man, I hate to see it go. It is such a rare bird. Very cool. All right, see y'all.